Hi there, everyone. This is an end of term update video, and it's also a video and a letter to take you through our recent Ofsted report. And I am delighted to inform you that the school has been judged to be good across all areas of the inspection. The new framework for Ofsted is incredibly rigorous. The bar is set really high. And it was a full, very detailed inspection that we received, which looked at all areas of school. And I do think it's a real achievement for the whole school community that we've achieved this outcome, particularly in the context of some of the challenges we face that have grown and become more complex post-pandemic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through the headline strengths and also for the areas for improvement. And as mentioned at the start, that we've also got some information here about some of the good stuff that's been happening at the school, in addition to the inspection since October half term. So the first strength is around the curriculum and the changes that we've made to the curriculum in the last year, particularly at Key Stage 3. We've worked really hard on this, and it's pleasing that the quality of that work has been recognised through the inspection. You can go onto the school website now, which is linked in the letter, and you can see all of the curriculum overviews, which I think are very useful for learners and for you as parents and carers to see what it is that the young people have got to learn each term for all subjects. So they are there to be accessed and to be used, and I hope you find those of use and of interest. The next area is around assessment. So there's a big focus on assessment, and the inspectors said that assessment is used effectively to check what has been learned and remembered. And that's been a huge focus of our work, not just in the last year, but for several years now, working on something called responsive teaching, which is essentially checking what young people know and then responding to those assessments. And we're very pleased that the inspectors could see the impact of that work. They reported as well that the atmosphere in lessons is calm and purposeful. And although we acknowledge that we have a small number of learners and a very small proportion who struggle to self-regulate and to make good decisions at times, it is clear that the vast majority of learners behave well the vast majority of the time, and there's a very calm atmosphere throughout the school. And they report as well that learners feel safe in school, which is unbelievably important. That they respect each other's differences and they value the school's diversity. And we do see our diversity as a major strength. And it wasn't a huge surprise to hear that from our learners and to hear that from the inspectors, but it's still very pleasing nonetheless that was reported to the inspection team from our learners. And they reported as well that learners are encouraged to develop their character and their confidence. And the inspectors could see the impact of our kind of distinctive approach to education, which we call the Trivium, and our Ladybridge way, as we call it. And you can click in there to read more about that. And the sort of simplest way I can put it is it's about how we develop both the knowledge that our young people need for exams and for life, and the personal qualities that they need to thrive in life. So we're really sort of grateful that inspectors took the time to try to understand really what the school is about. And we would have achieved an outstanding for personal development if we track the attendance at extracurricular clubs in a more sort of forensic way, which is obviously quite easy for us to fix. And that's one of the areas for improvement, which I'll talk about in just a moment. The inspectors also took the time to understand our alternative curriculum, which we call RISE. And that is in place to provide a different route through school for learners that have a high level of need, often have issues in terms of behavior and self-regulation, and have a different route to the sort of mainstream offer. And the inspectors were quite taken aback by this unique approach that we have in RISE and the impact that it's had on positively shaping the character, the direction, and the outcomes of some of our young people. They reported as well that we have strong governance, which again wasn't a surprise, but is reassuring to hear. And they could see that the governors know the school well and are not afraid to challenge. And we're really fortunate to have the governors that we have on the team. And as you will probably be aware, we're in the process of electing new parent governors at the moment. And the feedback from you as parents was overwhelmingly positive, and I'm really grateful for that, and really grateful for how you've supported me and supported the school in the time that I've been head teacher. The feedback overall as well from learners and from staff was extremely positive too, and all of that positive feedback helped us to get the judgments that we achieved. So let me move on to the AFIs, the areas for improvement. So firstly, as I touched on before, they felt that some key data around extracurricular clubs, behaviour and attendance wasn't sort of at our fingertips. So we had the data, but it wasn't quite at our fingertips. So what they suggest is that is an issue in terms of that forensic kind of analysis and evaluation. And in short, what we need to do is to invest in new data packages that enable us to do just that, to make sure we've got that key data at our fingertips. So we're going to visit other schools at the moment to decide on which new system is best for us. The second area is around the fact that the work we've done on the curriculum is very new and different subjects are at different stages. So what we need to do is to continue that work with all of our subject areas to sort of bridge those gaps between those subjects that are at different stages on their journey. And thirdly, the inspectors rightly reported, which again I sort of touched on before, that we have some learners whose behaviour is less good during unstructured times. So that's basically outside of lessons. What they were saying is in class behaviour is really good, but sometimes on the way to and from lessons on corridors and to and from school, I think as well, behaviour can be improved. And some of the parents who drop off and pick up their children will probably agree with me on that. So some of the behaviour to and from school and around and about school outside of lesson times, some of that behaviour could improve. So basically when staff are present, behaviour is generally very good. And when staff are not present, behaviour at times could improve. So the ultimate goal, which I've made really clear in assemblies that we've done since the inspection, is for all of our learners to behave in a kind and respectful manner, regardless of whether staff are present or not. So finally, about assessment, I just want to say that, yes, we're really pleased with the outcome, but I really feel that there's still so much more that we can achieve, so much more that we can improve, and so much that we can do to get the school closer to where we really want to be. So yes, we're pleased, but there's absolutely no way that we'll be complacent about the work that we need to continue to do. Now, I'm not going to take you through all the good stuff that's been going on since October half term. You can read the information there. You can see the photos about all of these different things. So I don't want the video to be too long. So please do have a read, have a look at the photos. All of this stuff is on our socials as well, on all our social media. We've got a lot of interesting things that are happening in the next 2 weeks before we break up as well. For example, we've got several educational visits that are going out this week. Our learners, sorry, we're not quite at that point yet. Our learners are off to Manchester University. They are off to the Sick to Death Museum in Chester. They're off to the Holocaust Centre North, and we've got the launch of our Poet in Residence project this week as well. And we've got the Christmas show, which will be amazing. And that's next Thursday on the 15th of December at 6 o'clock. You can buy tickets in school, or our learners can buy tickets in school, or you can just turn up on the night. and there's some information there about that. And we've got Year 7 Parents' Evening as well, which is this week on Thursday from 4 o'clock. And the school will close for the end of term at 1:40 on Thursday, the 22nd of December. Thank you again for all your brilliant support this term. I hope you have a really enjoyable Christmas and New Year break with family and friends. Thanks, everyone. I will see you soon. Thank you.